Hi, welcome to our new video for our new Android 8 sat-nav unit for the Volkswagen Seat and Skoda range. I'm just going to go through a few bits with you, just so that if you're installing it, it makes it a bit easier, and just how to use it really. On the back of the unit, you have the original Volkswagen 4-pin connection. So if you have a USB and it has that 4-pin connection on your car already, it'll plug straight into that. That's the original FACRA aerial connection. So if you've got a single connection, that'll go straight onto the back of there. If you've got a twin, we have an adapter, I'll show you in a second. That white block there is for the phono leads. So if you've got a reversing camera, etc., they plug into there. Your GPS aerial screws onto there. There's two USB leads if you want to plug in. There's some extension leads with it just for charging up. It's just a slow charge, 1 amp, but it's for charging, or you can plug in media if you want to put films or music on. That connection there is for the microphone. It has a microphone on the front fascia panel, but also it has an external microphone included with it, which plugs straight into there. And on this corner here, it's just the power connection block which our leads go into. So you have the power lead there, which is the quad lock connector. You press the tab, pull it up, and it'll pop your lead out of your existing one, and then just pop it straight into there. Then them leads go straight into the back of our unit. It has a red and orange lead on there. Please don't connect it. That needs to stay disconnected. Okay, if you connect that, the unit won't turn off when you remove your key, so just make sure that's disconnected, and that when you take your key out, the unit turns off. So that's the aerial connector that's in there. If you've got the standard single on your vehicle, then it'll just plug straight onto the unit. If not, that plugs onto the unit, and then the twin aerial FACRA lead is there, which will plug in if you've got two. Now if you have the single ones that has got two single leads on there in that colour, pop the purple tabs out on either side. These wires will pop out and then you can plug them in separately, but usually it'll just be a twin one like that, or a single, and that's included with the package. You have a couple of USB extension leads which come with it, and then also there's a 4-pin USB which can go in the back of the 4-pin on the back, and that's another USB on there. You have the screw-on GPS aerial. This can go under the dash, high up around the vents, so you don't have to put it in the windscreen on top of the dash. You can if you want, but it will probably work just as well underneath the dash. As long as it's right near the top of the dash underneath, it'll work fine. That's the external microphone that comes with it, which you usually put on top of the steering column, so it's straight in front of you, and that's the jack plug that goes into the back of the unit that comes with it. Now this is the Drb kit that comes with it. Now behind this cardboard is a clear aerial. That's the screw-on section there that screws onto the USB there. And if you pop this cap off, there's a USB end on there that plugs straight into the USB on the back of the stereo, and that's that. Now the USB aerial, here's one that I've just took out to show you. That will stick on your windscreen, and then that lead goes in, that clear lead, and you stick it on the bottom left or top left of the windscreen. But on the back there's a copper strip, and that's an earthing strip, and it needs to be earthed onto the pillow behind the trim on the pillow. And on that pillar there's basically, it'll probably be painted, so you'll need to take the paint off and make sure that's earthed onto unpainted bare metal, and then you'll get a good signal. But if you don't do that, it will crackle and make some not very nice noises, and then you know the aerial's not been installed correctly. So make sure that's put in correctly. Right, onto the unit. That's your menu button. It'll bring you back to the standard menu. When the unit starts up, it'll have the logo for your vehicle on the start, Volkswagen, Skoda, Seat. That'll come up on the start. The unit takes around 20 to 25 seconds to boot up because it's an Android system. Now if you go into setup, common settings, some of them are in there. Use that to go back on your screen, and then basically display how bright you want the screen to be at night time and at daytime. When you switch your lights on the car, it'll go into night mode. If you press the key light colour there, you can press any colour on there and you can illuminate it in neon blue, green, etc. So that's all in there if you want to change that. Volume, you can change the volumes for whichever section you've got on, or your Bluetooth you need it turning up, or the ringing volume, etc. It's all in there. You can adjust that. And then sound, that's your fader, and then your balance, you just move that around where you want. And then obviously you can change the music type at the bottom there. In video, if you want the video to be disabled while you're driving, turn it off there. If you've got air conditioning, like graphics on your old unit, they'll show up on the new one if you turn it on there. And when you're reversing, if you want the lines on or off, if you've got a reversing camera connected through this, it's all in there. Where are we at? Steering wheel controls. So your steering wheel controls should work out of the box. If they don't, hold the button on here, it'll flash, and then touch it or hold it on the steering wheel, and then that should assign it on the unit. And that's your steering wheel controls. So you have a normal menu, a setup menu which is there, and then you have, if you hold your finger and press down on the top line of the screen, hold it and press it down. If you press that there, the blue icon, it will reveal advanced settings. So if you go in there, there's some more advanced settings in there, but your Wi-Fi is in there. If you press that, there'll be a list of Wi-Fi connections there. Just tap on it, it'll ask for the code, make sure the code's put in correctly. I've connected here, but if you want to park outside your house and download things, it's fine. It'll all do it from there. It should reach from your car, no problems, and you can connect to your home Wi-Fi. Or if you want to put your hotspot on your phone, you switch your mobile hotspot on, it'll come up on this list down the bottom here, and then basically connect to it, and it'll ask for a code which will show on the top of your phone, and then just put that in, and you can use your phone for Google Maps, etc. if you download that app, so you can get live updates. So that's all in there, but that's basically where your Wi-Fi is. So if we come back out of there, you press your Bluetooth. Once you've connected your Bluetooth, it'll show the number of the Bluetooth there. Just go on your phone, open your Bluetooth up and connect. It should auto connect, but if you're going to set up and Bluetooth, and make sure auto connects on, and your phone will automatically connect every time you get in and turn the key on. If you want to make a normal call, it's there. If you press that, that will take a while, but it'll download all your contacts from your phone. And if you want to play music, just press the music button on there, and then basically, as long as it's connected to your phone, turn the volume up on your phone. Some people don't do it and say there's no noise coming out, but just make sure your phone's turned up, and then just connect on there, and then basically it'll you can go through there, go back and forwards through your songs. So that's all in there, and it'll show you obviously what's playing on there. Come back to the main menu. Now if you slide that across, that's your main bar there. Press apps, go into your apps, and if you press say Chrome, if you're connected through your phone or through your Wi-Fi, and then your Internet Explorer's there, you just tap in it and your keyboard will come up. Just type in what you want, enter, flick that back down, that'll go. If you press the rectangles are basically like your app closure on your phone. So you can close them all down with the 1X at the bottom, or if you just say press that one there, that'll close that down. But make sure you keep closing your apps down, or it will slow the phone down. Slow the stereo unit down, same as it would on your phone. Also in your apps, your DRB's in there. So if you want your DRB, whatever station you were listening to last will come back on when you open it up. And basically just slide across, you can just tap it, a couple of seconds it'll come on. Most of the stations should be on there. We set it all up ready. If not, there's a tuning button, a magnifying glass on there if you tap that, but they should be all on there anyways. And when you're finished with it, just press that and turn it off, and that's that off. Then on the top, when you get the unit, there'll be 2 DVD screws, transportation screws, which will be in the top of the unit. Make sure these are removed before you use the unit. They're just for keeping the DVD drive safe while it's in transit. Make sure those are removed, or else you won't be able to put a disc in. But put a DVD in, it'll automatically play. Everything's touchscreen on your menus. And then once it's started up, you won't be able to do it now, but if you touch the screen, it'll give you fast forward, chapters, etc. So if you played the movie, and once it's actually running, it'll you'll be able to get your menus up on the screen there. If you just tap it, everything's on there you need, and then when you're finished with it, just press off and that'll shut it, and that's it, shut down. Now your GPS card is in here, which covers 40 countries, most of Europe. That's the latest card we put in. At a later date, in a year or two's time, if you think it's getting out of date, we can supply one for the price of a card, so that's not an issue. Your SD card, you can use that up to 32 gig card for media. It'll play any music or plays most video formats. So if you've backed up any films or DVDs, most formats, AVI, etc., will all play in there. So I've just put one in there now. If you press video, then basically that's the I've got a film in there. So if you tap the screen, same thing again, you can fast forward. Or if you've got about 10 films or whatever on there, then if you tap go to and then type the number in, number 4, number 8, it'll take you on to the next thing. Or the same with your music. But so you can play AVI films, etc. straight from there. Same again when you're finished, just turn it off. Just inject that disc out of there. And then last thing, Navi. So you sat nav on there, you can either press that or you can press I've just installed that, so it's just come straight up, but usually when you press Navi it should start straight up. You can either press it there or press it on there, and then it'll just start up on the screen. And there we go, straight up to where it is. You've got a head-up display. If you want it on your phone, you can use your head-up display on your phone, but most people don't use that. You just press back. Them 3 lines there are the search bar. Don't use this one, it won't work properly. Use this one, just press that. Navigate to the address, and there if you want to put the city and the street in the old-fashioned way and the number, you can do it all that way. Or if you just press the select city and postcode, type your postcode in there, make sure you put a space in between, and then just search, and it'll bring all the address straight up for you. Flick that back down. Go back. There's lots of settings within here, so you can change how your maps look, etc. Regional, you can change the voices in there if you want to change the voice, but all that's in there. And when you're finished with it, if you're on this main screen, if you just press that and then scroll down to the bottom and press exit, and just exit it, because as it's running, it's obviously using some of the processor, so whenever it's not being used, best thing to do is just to close it down. And that pretty much is the unit. So anything else you really need to know about the unit, just give us an email or a message and we'll get back to you.